Now let's start solving this problem using the dynamic programming bottom-up approach. So we will take the example which has been given here in Leetcode. So let me just take this into an Excel and we will solve this problem there. Okay, so first of all, I will take the index because we'll treat this string input as a character array as in Java. So I will just start putting it here, L, E, E. So this is our input string of having length 8, starting with 0 index. And so let's start with as a bottom-up approach. What we will do is we'll start calculating that whether it's possible for starting from the very last index character here, and then we will keep on moving till the first character. Because the output to be given here is whether it's true or false, whether the input sequence can be broken down into the space separated sequence by giving the word dictionary. So we'll start from here and then we slowly move it down to DP0, and the final solution would be what is the value here, that is true or false, which will be the final output of this problem. So let me create a DP array where we will start for each of the index from the end. But also let me include a terminal character that for a null or for an empty string, right? So just think about it, right? That empty string in Java, it always be a substring of any string like Leetcode, whatever. Empty string is always a subset of it or a substring of it. So for this terminal condition, we'll mark it as true. Substring is always a part of any string. So that's why we have marked it as true. Now we'll keep on proceeding from the last character as we discussed. This is our the basic approach for any bottom-up dynamic programming problem. We start with the base case first, and then we try to find the solution of it, and then try to reuse that problem solution. So that's a problem solution when we move up to the upper cases, and then we will try to deduce that whether it's any pattern or any algorithm that we have discovered along the way. So let's start with the last character. So let me mark it as E. Okay. Now E, this is of course it is not a substring or doesn't compare with lead and code, the two words which has been given. So it would be false. Now we move to the sixth index from 6 to 7. So right now we are dealing with these two substring D and E. Of course, D and E, this is only of length 2. We can see that the length for the words given in the dictionary is lead and code, which is having a length of 4. So that's why DE is also false. Now we move on to O, which is same as this. So ODE, this substring is also doesn't matches lead or code. So it would be also false. Now let's go here to the C. So now we have got CODE, and then what we are doing is we are trying to iterate through all the words that has been given in the dictionary, and we try to see whether it matches with this substring that we have found or not. So here we see that code doesn't matches lead, but code matches exactly same as code, which means that we have found one sequence or substring which is same as given here. So here we have got true here and in the terminal condition. Now let's move to the third, starting from third, this string. So TCODE, right? Now for TCODE, we are iterating through all the words one by one, and we see that whether this substring which has been formed here, that starts with any of the words or not. For example, lead and code, both the TCOD, it doesn't start with it. It doesn't start with LEAT or CODE. But for example, if we have been given here something as, I'm just giving an example that suppose it was just like this, TCOD. Suppose this was also given as an input word dictionary. So in that case, we will see that once we are iterating to lead and code, this would be giving me false. But once we reach TCOD only, sorry. So here, TCODE, it starts with this part matches with this one. Okay. So in this scenario, now we will see that although this starts with this, but the value for the E is false. If I take out this TCODE, then we are only left with E, and E doesn't matches with any of the words given in the dictionary. So here we are reusing this problem. Whatever the solution that we have already computed here for this E is already as false. So if I take out just TCOD, although this substring starts with TCOD, but still, if it matches, I have to extract this TCOD part. Let me explain it here again. And this part is the most important part to understand this problem. So now TCODE, starting at 0 index, this portion matches with this, right? So it means that we can break down this Leetcode, for example, into subsequence. But after I extract this TCOD from this, we are left with E. And for E, we have already computed that for this substring starting at E, it's already computed as false here. So it means that it's not possible to even break this TCOD and then leave it with E. We have to use the whole TCODE, whether it's a part of the solution or not, whether it's true or false. So here we come up with this basic formula. So we can see this pattern, right? So here, if I calculate it, the DP for this 3, so it's actually DP of I plus the word length, TCOD. If the length of this is 4, right? So actually this is word.length, whatever is there present there. So if here I is 3, word.length is 4. So it means that DP of 3 would be actually DP of 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. So DP of 3 is equal to DP of 7. And we have already seen that DP of 7 we have already calculated as false. So let me reiterate that what we have done. So for the substring formed from index 3 to the end, TCODE, we found that one of the words, TCOD, this contains here from TCOD till 6th of character. So this part is already matching. Now we see that if we take this string out, we have to check for the remaining string with characters which are left in the whole TCODE. And we found that E, if left out separately after extracting TCOD, the value we have already computed is false. So that's why the basic generic formula is that whenever the characters match, we have to take out the length of that string, extract it, and we'll find that whatever we have already computed in the next index, which is, so this is the formula that we have just derived. I plus word.length. The word is TCOD here, which already matches with this. So here it means that it would be false. But anyway, TCOD is not given here, so I will remove this. It was just for the explanation. So let me move to the other part now, TCOD. Now, considering this part, again, none of the words given in dictionary it starts with, so I will just remove this for now. So lead and code doesn't start with this, so it would be false. False. And now this is again the same important problem that what we have discovered here in DP3 by giving an example. Now we are at this point. Okay. So now we see that lead is matching, starts with lead. Okay. So it means that at least we have found one of the words which are matching. But here again for DP0, as we have calculated the formula here, we have to use dp of I, that is 0, plus word.length. Whatever. So if I extract this part, so it means that we are still left with this CODE, and we already have checked whether this CODE is already computed before, and whatever the value is there at this part. Whenever the characters match, then we extract this, and then we check whatever the values we have already computed. So based on the same formula as here, so it would be dp of 0 would be dp of 0 plus word.length. Lead is 4, so it would be 4. So it means that, and we already know that 4 is true, so that's why the final value would be true. And this is our solution.